and
young gentleman,
and from healingthemind.co.uk. This is episode 43, and today we will be discussing the topic of people who are feeling lost.
Yes.
They're feeling lost, or they have to go and search and try and find themselves.
Yeah, you've got to find yourself.
You've got to go and find yourself.
You've got to go and find yourself. I've looked everywhere. I still don't know where I am.
Really?
Yeah. No, I've looked behind the sofa. I've looked under the wardrobe.
Well, mate,
have you?
I've never been able to find you.
No.
Let alone myself. So
I'm just a hologram, really. I'm not really here. I'm so worried about COVID. I've sent a hologram to you to be here next to you, but I'm just stuck at home in a bubble, wrapped in blankets, sheets, bubble wrap, you name it. I'm literally like that.
Yeah.
At home. This is just a hologram version of me.
Brilliant. Excellent. So you're just sitting there right now.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So as I said, this is about people who are feeling lost and or who feel the need to go and try and find themselves, or searching to find themselves. But we've also got our usual highlights of the week, which is we're actually got a new one this week, which we're adding.
Yes.
You want to add?
I want to add this one. I want to hear from people the stupidest thing you've heard this week. I will tell you mine a little bit later on, but post below, comment the stupidest thing that you've heard. Doesn't have to be about COVID. My one is about COVID, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be something stupid you've heard. But I was thinking about this, and I literally hear something stupid every week now. And this one was definitely top of my list. So I'm going to reveal that to you a little bit later on. So as we go through the podcast, just post your favourite one or the one that you've heard, and we'll announce my one later on.
Great. Do you hear that? I just got messed up on the thing.
I noticed that. Yeah, I'm sure I didn't notice.
I just want to steal your.
You're trying to disrupt and just muscle in on my part. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Do
you not have a big enough part as it is?
Conflict.
I mean, you do the script, you do the intro, you now share the information. I mean,
I even made the tea.
You even made the tea. How much big of a part do you need? I don't know. I'm just here. I don't know why I'm here. I thought I was here for moral support. Yeah. I thought I was the one with the information, but you know so much now. You don't really need me.
I don't need you anymore, actually.
But
anyway, so yeah,
I don't even dress like as good.
I know you're Captain America.
I'm Captain America tonight. You know,
you were Captain America last night.
I was Captain America last night. It was a special occasion because we was out.
Yes. Well, in actual fact, although I was mocking you for dressing like Captain America, by the end of the evening, I wished I'd had that top on. Bloody freezing.
It was fucking cold, wasn't it?
I tell you what, when we got back last night, it took me about 45 minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
Absolutely freezing. I was shaking inside. Well, that was good to catch up with everybody.
It was really good. It was nice to be out and about.
It was all right until the sun went down, and then it wasn't so pleasant after all, really.
No. But it was nice to be out and enjoying the sunshine. It was nice to be around other people out, and I didn't see
normal people. Normal people.
I didn't see anybody, any publican or customer wearing a mask.
No, it's great.
I didn't see any of that. It was all drinking. They were all clipped together.
Yeah.
There was no social distancing. All talking like they used to before. No one was really bothered about it. They've all kind of got fed up with it and gone, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances. Yeah. And I pretty much believe they were all fine.
Yeah.
And the best thing was, what I love doing now, what I do with people, with staff members who are wearing a mask, they'll talk to me and I go, I'm sorry, mate, I can't hear you. Can you just pull the mask down? And they do.
I know.
And they talk to me. And I did it twice to this guy.
Yeah.
And he just did not clock it at all. It's like, if you really thought it was a virus, you wouldn't do that. Yeah. If you thought it was a pandemic, you wouldn't do that at all.
Which I'm going to come on to in a little while as well, actually, because obviously, you know, we've been saying from day one.
Day one.
Yeah, exactly. Day one. But, you know, the thing is that people like to trust people they don't know.
Yes.
Rather than trust people they do know. Because what we actually do is do these podcasts to tell people to put their lives in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell these people all this information so they can go outside and not listen to my information, catch a virus and die.
Exactly,
Because I'm such a bastard.
You are. You're a complete bastard.
I am a complete bastard.
And you're just trying to kill people, aren't you?
I'm just trying to kill people. That's why I do this.
Because you get a lot of benefit out of it. I mean, you make money out of it, don't you?
Oh, I make loads of money out of it. You get social recognition.
Travel around.
Loads of
high-powered women. Yeah, you got loads of people in your, got beautiful women swarming you. You've got powerful elite business partners and politicians.
Absolutely.
You're making money. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, wait, that's the government.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the government. So I got you wrong. I misunderstood. You look a bit like Boris.
Do I?
Yeah. No. You look a bit.
Don't say that.
You look like a cross between Andy Capp and Eric Morecambe, if I'm honest.
Andy Morecambe?
No, Andy Morecambe.
Yeah.
No.
Eric Capp.
Ruggish. No, you look like Gosling, Andy Capp and Eric Morecambe. Yeah. So, but no.
So anyway,
so we don't make anything out of it, do we? I mean, not that
I just love just telling people really dodgy information, so put their lives at risk. Really.
Yeah. That's why I'm
don't listen to somebody you know. Listen to somebody you don't know because
in fact,
them screens. Well, in fact, they've got hold all the information.
If I'm really honest, when I didn't know you, I trusted you more than I do now. So
I understand why.
You understand why?
And I'll have you right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Anyway,
exactly.
So let's get back on topic. So so it's about the podcast can be about people who are feeling lost or trying to find themselves or searching to find themselves. We do have the new the thing that John wants to bring in, which is the stupid thing he's heard this week. We will also be having the what happened on this day, along with some famous birthdays. So just want to quick say hello to Rebecca, who's joined us, and everyone else that's watching. Good evening, and hello Jane as well, who's mentioned us on the other feed. Yep. So, but anyway, before we start, right? I would like to introduce my co-host, the creator of the DTO system. He's the co-founder of the Inside Act.
Inside Act? Yeah, are you drunk? Yes. Well, you still hung over from last night, aren't you?
I had 3 pints as well. It's not good, is it?
Wow, you're such a lightweight. Even I can handle more than that, and I don't drink. Seriously?
I know. Anyway,
although I can't drink anymore, I can't have bloody Coke anymore. I used to have Haliburton and Coke, and I now can't have Coke anymore.
That's for another topic.
That's another topic. That's going to fry people's brains. It fried mine.
I did tell you all this stuff a long time ago.
I know, but I didn't trust you.
I know. Exactly. You knew me, but didn't trust me.
I knew you, but didn't trust you. That's right. Yeah.
So, what you want to do
if you'd have been a stranger, I would trust you much more.
Do you know them newsreaders or them politicians that you don't know?
Yeah.
Trust them.
100%. They're totally know what they're talking about. Most logical
thing you want to do.
They would never lie.
No.
Not in a million years.
No, you just want to do what they tell you because you don't know them. And
that's right.
You've gained every bit of trust. Anyway,
moving on.
Anyway. So he's the co-founder of the Inside Out with myself, and he's author of the book Decoding Pain, the Emotional Blueprint to Healing Chronic Pain, as well as the detailed handbag. I'm really
handbag. Seriously, do you want me to host? Because
detailed handbook.
Should we reschedule for another night? Are you feeling all right? What's going on? No, he's burning up, ladies and gentlemen. He needs a hospital. He's probably got COVID.
I have,
if I'm honest. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So anyway, I have the Christian Dior. I have the Coco Chanel when it comes to mental and emotional and physical pain. Although he does smell like you smell like you've doused yourself in Old Spice tonight, mate. I've got the Old Spice surfer himself, the amazing Jonathan Shaw. Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for joining us again in the studio, as per usual. My good old trusty friend. How have you been?
I've been very well. Yeah. Super busy.
No shit.
Do I smell?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Smell like Old Spice.
I smell like Old Spice. Yeah. I've never worn Old Spice in my life.
Brooklyn. It's one of the two. High karate.
No, I'm not that flexible.
Okay.
No. I've been really good. I've been treating different clients this week.
Chest infection.
Chest infection, yes. It's because I asked him to remind me about the chest infection, so he's just got chest infection. You could have been more subtle about it. I mean, you could have just gone, so John and Heath had a client with chest infection, not just gone, chest infection.
I know, I just wanted to do that. I just felt the urge.
So yes,
I'm in that frame of mind.
You're in that frame of mind, okay. So yes, I've had a few different clients this week with different problems, and the chest infection one's quite interesting because she also had an ankle injury at the same time. And obviously the two were actually linked. And she did know this because she worked with me before. But obviously when she went to doctors...
Well, the chest infection was linked to the ankle injury?
Yes.
Wow. And explain.
I'll explain. So basically, one of my old clients came back to me and I treated this lady a few years back now when she had what they diagnosed as chronic regional pain syndrome, which it wasn't. It was the tight tendon on the bottom of her foot. So she'd had that for 3 years and it took us about 5 sessions to get rid of it. Anyway, she comes back to me, and because I wasn't here last year, I was in Portugal off and on, she actually fell over and she injured her foot. And then 3 weeks later after that, she got a chest infection and rib pain, sort of shoulder pain, which has come and gone. But the chest infection keeps coming and going quite frequently. And she went to hospital and apparently they thought it was pleurisy to begin with. And then they checked her lungs and couldn't find anything. So they then said, we think you've got an infection, and put her on stuff, but nothing's really touched it. So she heard I was back and came to see me. And basically they're connected. So the ankle pain is connected to the chest infection, because people don't realize that injuries are connected to other parts of the body. And that will fry a doctor's brain, because when you go to a doctor, your symptoms have to fall in one of 4 boxes. So they've got 4 boxes, and all symptoms must fall in one box.
Okay.
If it crosses boxes, they're fucked. They ain't got a fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
So because those symptoms cross boxes, because one is technically the bronchi or the lungs or the throat, is a combination of a throat and a bronchi actually, and the other one is a musculoskeletal problem, they didn't have a Scooby what was going on. So basically the reason it's connected is because of the conflict she's running. So, you know, all, as we've always said, viruses, infections, things like that, they are all conflicts. You do not
Well, you don't catch them. You don't catch them.
No, you
Shocking,
don't.
really.
Do not spread.
Tell me more. I'd like to learn about that.
I know. Tell me about it.
Really?
So this chest infections are no different than anything else. It's created by conflict, and it's just the same conflict was running the problem. So basically, she had a situation in life with her dad who was very ill last year, and her dad's never really ill. I mean, I've treated her dad for years. He came through a shoulder problem, which we fixed. And he's a typical builder. He's a carpet layer. You know, he's been really fit and healthy most of his life. And he was very, very ill last year, and she's just been worried about him. And basically, towards the end of the year, he started getting better. So she did this in October last year. He started getting better. So she had all that worry, all the guilt and the shame about not being able to help him or not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And basically, what happened? It was a territory issue. So it hit her bronchi, her chest, which is what the bronchi is about. It's a territory anger issue. It hit her throat, which is fear, and so that's where the chest infection comes from. And it burdened her, which is why the shoulder was a problem. And the ankle, she couldn't move forwards from it because he still wasn't 100% right, but he was better. So she was stuck. She couldn't move forwards from the emotional response. And as soon as we switched a lot of that off, I spoke to her today, and she's feeling a lot clearer in here. She had a little tickle came up towards the end of the session here.
I had a little tickle come up before the session.
Did you? I know. I scratched it for you, didn't I?
No, you did.
But that was just the mucosa, the lining of the throat healing, because when the skin gets irritated, itchy, that's it actually healing. So that would have been the lining, and after a few minutes that vanished and went away. And you know, I'll do another session next week and she'll be fine. So it's very interesting. People don't think that these two things, like the chest and the ankle, could be connected, but they are very often connected because the trauma is what connects them, not necessarily the body parts. The ankles connect to the chest, although can be, because it can affect the soft tissue or the
conflict can be running multiple conflicts.
Well, the conflict is running multiple issues in the body. It's affecting the body in multiple ways. So it can be one conflict affecting different parts of your body, or it can be multiple conflicts affecting one part or multiple parts of your body.
I understand. I hope the ladies and gentlemen that are watching understand that as well.
So anyone out there who's suffering with symptoms or infections, if the person you're seeing, or ankle problems, or whatever it is, if the person you're seeing is only addressing that problem, but they're not looking at the whole body, they're not looking at the whole of you, they ain't going to get you better. Because chances are, when people come to see me, the reason they haven't got better is because the person or the therapist they're going to is looking at one problem. Whereas you can't do that with someone. You've got to look at them as a whole. I was taught that by my mentor many years ago, to treat someone like a polo mint. You know, you've got the outside, you've got the hole in the middle. Literally treat everything as a whole, and the hole is the hole going right way through here. And if you look at people like that and look at everything and how it matches up, and then look at the stress, then you can really solve a lot of problems. But you must look at everything that's going on as a whole. Yeah,
the problem is that we are just in the everything's cause and effect, and all we do is focus on the effect and then try and manage that, solve that, cure that, heal that effect.
That's right.
But the chances are that if you don't solve the cause, the thing that's causing the effect, then the thing is going to come back anyway. And that's why we get colds being repeated over and over again, or infections repeated over and over again, or we could get injuries over and over again because the conflict hasn't been resolved.
That's right. That's exactly why. He's absolutely great. If the conflict's still running, it's going to get triggered consistently, and you're going to keep repeating it over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, so that's good. Any other positive stories, or do you want to?
No, I treated a 9-year-old this last week before, and she was suffering problems of going to sleep at night and problems feeling alone when her mum would leave the room, and stomach upsets. And her mum was using the DTO technique on her at night, or when she had the stomach upset, and it was clearing the stomach upset when she had it, and it was putting her to sleep when she needed to go to sleep. But we've now started dealing with the root cause, and we dealt with the feeling alone to begin with last week. And she said that her mum left the room the other day or went outside, and she wasn't frightened anymore, because usually when the mum does that, it triggers her. And the girl might be in the house and the mum's literally outside, but the girl just gets freaks out. Where's mum? And she said this week, exactly. So this week she didn't feel that at all. and she wasn't worried. So from that point of view, we was able to resolve that. But the good thing about that is the mum was using DTO to actually manage the symptoms really well. And anytime the little girl would have a symptom, she would actually just calm it right down. And the girl was amazed how quick her symptoms would disappear.
Yeah.
Previous that the kid would
cowpole.
Well, no, previous that she didn't really want to deal with it. She didn't really believe that it was going to work. She didn't want to deal with it, but the stomach problems getting worse, and she was suffering in pain. So it's amazing that the mum had the ability to take away the symptom.
Yeah.
Without only knowing the basics of DCO. It's incredible.
Yeah,
and then just called me in to deal with the root cause.
Yeah,
I mean, that was it.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, it must be an thought, because I'm going to talk about mine in a little while, but I've been dealing with children as well, which we'll go to in a little while.
Yep.
But I just want to touch on, so obviously you heard about the 1 million people that swarmed London yesterday.
I did. It was fantastic.
Marching for our freedoms, and obviously stopping this disgusting tyranny disguised in the name of a virus. And, obviously what I've heard of from that event from people that went, and a lot of people that went, that there was almost 1 million people, and it was a really amazing, peaceful march.
Yeah.
And apparently it ended up in
Highlands?
Yeah, I'm got it. I'm really on form tonight.
You spent a fortune in nose your mouth.
I know. They all ended up in Hyde Park, and everyone was all sitting around, like at the end of the marching for like 12 miles, all sitting around having a drink, listening to the music, and then the police just turned up with 12 riot vans and jumped out, started hassling everyone, smashing everyone with truncheons, and the media jumped out, got their camera, got their shots, and off they went. Yeah. And then goes up to the disgusting media. So the media got their shots to put on the mainstream brainwashed media tards who sit there and suck all that crap up, and which I know is a lot of nonsense, because it's all lies. And what they do is they stage all these things on purpose to create a narrative. And I've known this for over 20 years. So, there was 1 million people, but, you're probably going to see on the mainstream media something completely different. It was all violence and all the rest of it, but but it's all staged. And my friend said you just watch them do it. You just watch them from afar, watch them just to go in and do it.
I really hope someone caught on camera what actually happened.
Oh, lots of people did. I mean, I've seen some videos already that have been sent to me personally about it, and I mean, it's just disgusting. I mean, these people, I don't know how they sleep at night if they think that that's okay, especially when they're meant to be there to protect the people, not to go in and just.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's the police's job, is to protect us.
They're not working. I mean, they take an oath to serve the people. Not to work for the government.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that sort of behaviour, won't be tolerated. There'll be some proof out there.
I hope so. I mean, it's been happening There's a lot of it that's all been coming out, and police officers have been arrested, sacked, and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, all the media are doing is playing on your ignorance and naivety when it comes to how you're getting sick.
Well, I recently saw an article. Bristol police officers said that breaking up people's demonstrations was unlawful. They literally had to apologise and admit that what they did was unlawful. So now they've admitted that. Now one police group have admitted that. The other ones aren't really going to get away with it, because
I still just don't understand the mentality of why these people think it's okay just to turn up and just start attacking people, just so the people they're meant to be protecting, so the media get their shots to then push a narrative out and then change the whole narrative about about the peaceful protest. And I think it's just absolutely disgusting. And I said, I don't know how these people sleep at night. And if they're doing it just so they can, get some money, then maybe you might want to think about like your moral compass and actually think, because that's, we know as well as I do, every time you do something wrong, it will come back and get you later on in life, and you're not going to get away with that. They ain't going to get away with it. Karma is a bitch, and it will come and get you.
Well, your actions and behaviours really eat you up unless you're a really cold, evil person. Even the worst. I mean, I've treated someone who, in his younger days was very violent, and
I'm all right now, though, mate.
You're all right now, though, yeah. No, it wasn't actually you. I'm all right.
It was
actually someone worse than you, believe it or not.
I wasn't that bad.
No. But he then got really ill and was on the brink of dying, and he then started feeling guilty and ashamed and regretted everything he'd done, which was what causes illness from my point of view. I just didn't get to him in time, bless him. But he kind of recanted it and kind of didn't want to be that person any longer. And there's nothing to do with him. It's just his past that caused him to be that way. Just his past traumas and his interactions with his dad that made him become that person. But no, your behaviours and actions will come back at you. So if you do anything later on in life, as you grow and you become,
get older, it's going to come.
As you get older, you will realise what you've done, and you'll have problems.
Like I said, your brain records everything from the day, from the time you record everything. So when I work with people, they go, "Oh my God, that thing came up when I was 2." Your brain, it's literally like a video recorder that starts from the time you're born. And if you think that you can just like box things up and move on from it, and think, "Oh well, I've just moved on from that," you don't realise that all that stuff is still going on underneath, and that will absolutely cripple you in one way or another, either mentally, emotionally, or physically. It will do all three. And that's the thing. So all these people that are out there doing all this stuff and think they're getting one over somebody else, it's going to come and get you and it's going to bite you in the arse. And it will for these police officers, because it's just not acceptable behaviour at all to be doing that. And you know, maybe they might get their paycheck, but I guarantee you, when later on in life they will pay for that. Not when I say pay for that, they'll pay for it to themselves. They'll be doing stuff to themselves. And you know, and if you don't think there's tyranny going on, then when you're not allowed to, it's illegal to sing, it's illegal to dance, you've got to wear a mask inside a shop, even though they don't even work. You're not allowed to have people in your house, you're not allowed to meet up, you're not allowed to, you've got to close your business, you've got to eat outside in the cold, drink outside in the cold, you've got to do as you're told. If you don't think that there's a tyranny going on, then really you are asleep and hypnotised beyond. There's no salvation for you, I'm afraid.
Although I would like to point out, because for the past few weeks I've been doing an online basic introduction to law course, and I would like to point out that all of those rules are not law. None of them are law. They are a contract, and unless you enter a contract, which nobody has, they are not legal. And when something says you are required by law, required actually means request. When it says you must, it actually means may. So these are all legalese terms. Which
to coerce you and trick you.
None of these rules are law. They're not legal. A corporation is not allowed to make laws, and as the government is a corporation, that'd be like McDonald's making a law. It's not going to work. So none of these are laws, none of them at all, unless you're entering into contract. As long as you don't do that, you're absolutely fine. Yeah,
great, well said. Okay, brilliant. So where are we? So anything else you want to talk about really about that? Is there anything?
No, not really. No. I haven't really seen any. I've been just working on, working with clients and progressing decent. Not my image.
No, you're working on your image.
Hey,
Captain America.
I make this look good. I think I make this look better than actual Captain America. So my girlfriend actually bought this for me, and she said to me the other day, because I wore it out last night, and I said to her yesterday morning, I'm going to wear it out tonight. And she went, "Oh no, I only bought it for you to wear around the house."
I can understand why she said that as well, because that's all I would do. But,
and I said, "No, I want to. It's going to be cold." And I actually took a snapshot of it and sent it to her and said, "Look, I make this look good." She said, "Actually, you look okay in it." So it was all right. So she let me out, is what I'm trying to say. My girlfriend is my tyranny. Really, she gives me the rules of what I can do and what I can't do. What I can wear and what I can't wear.
See, I'm fortunate like that at the moment, so I'm just tyrannical myself.
Em, if you're watching, I am only teasing. My girlfriend is absolutely lovely and delightful. She doesn't tell me what to do at all. So I am teasing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So should we move on to me?
Move on to you.
Yeah.
You want more attention?
Make it about me.
Make it about you. Go on. Make it about you. Can we switch that off?
No.
Okay.
I like that.
No, you like making
it. It's a narcissist in me.
Yes. I've got to point out his waistcoat, because he's now got his full-length waistcoat.
Yes.
I don't even remember the discussion we had from last time. Stand up. Let's see it.
I don't think you can see it.
It goes all the way down to his pudding cup.
Yeah.
Now, and covers that up.
Yeah.
If you don't know what pudding cup is, go and watch. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Yeah, go and watch that.
Go and watch that movie.
It's really good.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie now. Yeah. It's a good movie. And I'll tell you next time. Yeah. But his waistcoat is the right length.
It's all right. And I won't gonna have, I'm spending a lot of money on it. I don't want to get something that doesn't fit.
No,
so I've now got it, and I'm now dressed in it. It's very
excellent. That's good.
Yeah, so I've been busy. In actual fact, the last few weeks been a bit different for me, really. And I said to you earlier on about working with children.
Yeah.
And actually, in the last couple of weeks, I've worked on quite a few children. In particular, a friend of mine reached out to me and asked me if I would work on a 10-year-old girl who had been suffering from eczema top to bottom.
Yeah.
And having talked to you and found out really what those conflicts were.
Yeah.
She came round last Sunday, actually, and bless her, she was so sweet, 10-year-old kid. She was so cute. And anyway, it just took me a little time. Got her trust. So it didn't take me long to get her trust. We was having a little bit of fun. And really, I suppose she was brilliant. I went to all of the stuff to do with her family, and because obviously skin is a separation conflict, and so with the eczema or
a protection conflict.
Yeah. So anyway, I just went to the where she felt separated.
Yep.
And it was, because of the lockdown, she felt separated from her nan. She lost her nan.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So there was that, and then there was the separation from her dad because the parents were split up some years back. So there was that, and
so
then
triggered it all off.
Yeah, and then so now she went seeing, because what would happen is she'd stay at her nan's, and then her dad would come. So she lost her nan, and all of a sudden. But anyway, I switched all of the conflicts, the guilts, and the shames, and all that around that. And literally at the end of it, she goes, "I feel really, really good," and it stopped itching. So so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that's resolved that, and she's now on the mend as well. So that was a first for me, but it didn't take me long to actually clear it. I sort of did it in one session, so that was really nice. She was such a sweet little girl, and so I made a friend there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, cool. And then
that'll be your first one, won't it?
What's that?
Friend.
Yeah, we'll be my first friend. Proper friend.
Proper friend. Yeah. Someone you really connect with on a deep, meaningful level.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know, and I struggled with it actually. Yeah. Anyway, and then after that, I had. And then after that, I had a 14-year-old.
Boom.
I know. I dealt with a 14-year-old girl who was, someone reached out to me, 14-year-old was suffering from anxiety, couldn't go to school.
Yeah.
A bit more complicated because there was a lot of stuff running for her. But so I just got rid of, she was feeling anxious, got rid of all the attacked and powerless and all the stuff around school and what have you, and got rid of all of the feeling attacked by the teachers in the school and all the rest of it. And then that lifted and she was a lot better. I got a message from her mum the next day saying she was in a lot better place. So, so that was really, really good as well. So, and then I did a really amazing video testimonial with a girl called Ria.
Yes.
Who came to me. When she came to me, she was broke, like really broke. I thought, when you see some people and they're just so emotionally broke, but she's a single mum and she's amazing, amazingly dedicated. Well, bearing the fact she couldn't even leave her house, but she managed to come all the way, 20 miles away to here. Anyway, we've done I've just seen her grow. She's gone from being stuck in her house, 2.5-year-old boy, not being able to go to the shop because of the anxiety, really low self-worth, just, life was over for her, really, really struggling. And then in just 11 sessions, she's now opened her own cake business. She's about to open a shop and she's sitting here doing videos with me.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So, and I had that video testimonial done with her. So that was that lifted my whole day.
Yeah,
that was absolutely amazing, and it's a great video. It's a really lovely story as well, and it just goes to show where you can go from being, being completely broke to literally having your life transformed overnight. And when I say overnight, 3 months, which is sort of overnight, really.
That's overnight compared to your whole life.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I really love that, and so that's been really good. And I've had loads of people just sending me messages really recently. I had one earlier from Jane. So Jane, I know you're watching. Jane Haycock. Hello, Jane.
If you're watching, Jane.
Yeah, so hello, Jane. And she sent me a lovely message saying that she'd been using the subconscious audio tape and that it's been really successful. And ever since that she started using it, things are just getting better and better and better for her, which is a great for me because to be quite honest, I'm, I just love doing stuff that's going to help people. I know it's helped me. I know it's helped other people, but when you get a message like that, it just makes you want to do more and more of those things. So I will be doing some other ones soon, Jane, but thank you for your message earlier on. Really, really appreciate it. And an old football buddy of mine from years back that I haven't heard from for 15 years phoned me up to ask a friend and said he loves our podcasts.
That's lovely. That's really nice.
I know, it was great. We were telling you.
It's nice to hear that people enjoy our podcasts and listen to us rant.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting to do that from him. He goes, I love it. And he goes, I look forward to him every Monday when I'm on the train.
Excellent.
So, he does listen to him. So, anyway, so that's what sort of really been for me.
Yeah,
just really busy. And obviously the website that you've done now, and that's all really good. So things are onwards and upwards. And I'm really, 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 really happy with the work that I've been doing and the success that I've been getting as well.
Yeah, you're getting some amazing success with people, aren't you? It's incredible.
It is incredible,
I mean, it took me years to learn a lot of things that I learned, and you've been able to pick that up and learn it in quite a short space of time and get some incredible results with people that traditionally you can't fix. Which is so sad. If more people just understand it can be fixed. So to be able for someone to be able to do a technique and learn it really quickly and fix really severe problems is just absolutely incredible. It blows my mind.
Well, when you think I come from a marketing background, I came from a marketing background, recruitment background. I had 5 different companies doing all sales and then now to obviously I lost all of that and a lot more as well, and then ended up needing to sort myself out, and then fell into this, and I just felt I got a bit of I felt I had a natural aptitude for it. It interests me. I love helping people, and it's just I just find it simple. I just find it really easy.
It is really easy. It's a really very simple technique. Yeah, I love it. Once you get your head around it, it's super simple. I'm not special in any way, shape, or form. It's not a
you're not wrong there. I'm not. You're absolutely right there. Took the words right out of my mouth.
You're supposed to say, no, John, you are amazing. You're special.
Why am I supposed to say that?
You're not supposed to. We're on camera. It's not in the script.
I didn't write that.
I don't follow the script. Exactly. I didn't even know I didn't even read the script.
That's why you expect me to say that.
That's why I do expect you to say that. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Yeah. So let's before we go into some of the details on the podcast, you wanted to do the most stupidest thing you've heard this week. So we're going to add a new section in, or a new little bit, and the most stupidest thing you've heard this week, John. And over to you. So you wanted this.
So the most stupid thing I heard this week was absolutely brilliant. So I was in a little corner shop, just buying some milk, and I got talking to the woman behind the counter who had a little plastic thing in front of her, a mask on. And I got talking about COVID a little bit, and she said, well, my sister passed away of COVID. So I know, something's going on. I was like, okay, right. So because people don't really get that whoever's died, they've just been told it's COVID. They don't really know it's COVID. They've been told that. It's just been labelled as COVID. It could have been anything. No one really knows because there's no autopsies. And I said to her, it's interesting that, that loads of people have been coming out now saying their family members been labelled COVID when they definitely know it's not. He said, yeah, I've heard that. But I was like, okay, right. She's starting to open up. So I went on to another fact. I said, did you know they actually stopped doctors from autopsying? They wouldn't allow autopsy. Why do you think that is? And she said, maybe it's because if the virus comes out the body.
Oh, well.
And I was like, oh, my God. So, wait a second. You can autopsy someone with the plague.
Exactly. Or any other disease.
Or any other disease whatsoever. But this one, you can't autopsy in case when you open them up, it flies out of the body and latches onto you.
And that's that virus with a 99.8
success rate. Yeah, 99.8% survival rate. Yeah. Actually, I think it's 99.8%. There's only 1% unsuccessful rate, 0.1%. So it's way higher than that. But I had to struggle from laughing when she said this. I gave up. I was like, you know what? I've really got to go. Nice meeting you. I'm very sorry for your loss. Yeah. But that was dumb. I was like, oh my God, really? People are just so thick. They don't think what they're actually saying. Yeah. Surely anyone listening to that can go, oh my God, that's stupid.
The problem is that they've put so much trust in this. We talk about this in authority. If someone's on a TV screen, they'll fucking believe anything.
Yeah.
Like I said, they'd rather trust them than someone like us who's going to say, look, don't catch virus, don't catch cold, this is how it works. No, man on telly says something different.
Yeah.
So we're going to believe him. Yeah. Even though we know you, we're going to believe the man we don't know because we're really smart. Right? Yeah. This is what I'm saying. This is you talk about that. Yeah. And then obviously they don't realise that the people that are telling you the information are also the same people that are employing the people in the hospitals.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't take rocket science to work out that it's all government.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So if the government are telling you this in the first place, then everybody that they're employed underneath them are also going to tell you that.
Yes.
Whether it's a doctor or a nurse or whatever.
Exactly.
And we know loads of nurses that are coming out saying we're not allowed to speak out. They've been threatened and bullied and all the rest of it.
They're actually quitting their jobs because they're fed up with it.
Yeah. They've been threatened and bullied and harassed.
So it's starting to come out, and so much has come out in April. Oh my God, so much information, so many people whistleblowing, so many people, so much information about the fault. I mean, there's that study in America where they tested 1,500 positive COVID and all they found was influenza.
Yeah. Was that University of Stanford?
That's 7 universities.
Yeah, 7 universities.
Tested 1,500 positive COVID tests,
right.
And all they found was influenza, no COVID, because it doesn't exist, because it's made up. Because it was made up in 2015, 4 years before it actually came out. Let me think. So more and more information coming out all the time, and there's so many amazing people standing up and counting. Too. I mean, the doctors and nurses who are standing up now, there are police standing up now. The amazing people are standing up and coming out and actually sharing this information, and so many more people are waking up.
Yep.
Hence the 1 million people march
yesterday
in London yesterday.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And God knows wherever else it was around the world.
I saw a video on the World Doctors Alliance.
Yeah.
Give it another plug. Do it every week now. No,
go on Telegram.
The World Doctors Alliance.
Go on that.
Anyway, there was a guy who posted a video on there of him in hospital.
Yeah.
And his dad, his dad was 86. I wouldn't like to have messed with this guy because I could hear his voice and you could see his arms being about the size of a tree, covered in tattoos, and you could just tell that he weren't like a guy to mess with. But anyway, he said, I want to see my dad. And they said, oh, you can't. And they told him that he'd been put on this ward on his own, right? And he'd been on his own and he'd been isolated because he'd got COVID. And yet that when he spoke to his dad said, well, I haven't had a test. How do they know that? So what they did is they lied about all of the stuff on his form saying he had to be isolated and all the rest of it. Anyway, the couple are actually filming the whole thing. And you can just see these literally doctors lying out of their back teeth, literally like the doctor and the nurse lying out of their back teeth. Just literally, you could just see they just didn't know what to do. They'd been caught in the act of doing it. Yeah. And so if they've done it on one person, they can do it on loads of people. Why just that one bloke? And it was like I watched the whole 10-minute video, and there's 2 coppers standing there, and they are actually sort of like, well, they're trying to keep the peace because obviously this geezer's really kicking off because they won't let him see his dad. And in the end, I think they wanted to just get him out. But you could just see this. And at the end, there was this Irish nurse, and you could just see her just crapping herself because they knew that they'd lied massively.
And she was like, so much trouble because they can be fraud by them. They put their signatures on it. All of it. They sign it, they've written it down. They know. I mean, they're going to get in so much trouble.
All of them,
because it is coming out in the next couple of months. Oh my God, it's going to get so much going to get revealed.
Yeah,
and they're going to get in massive amounts of trouble.
Yeah, well, anybody that's involved in the vaccine program as well, because it's an experimental thing. If anything happens, the people that administered it or been involved in it, then they're in trouble as well. And people don't actually realise that. They haven't done any of the research. They haven't looked at any of the implications of what it is and actually what they're actually putting into their systems and stuff. And that's a different thing. And I don't want to go into that. You've all got your choice. But if you're willing to just let somebody you don't know, it's the same thing. You believe someone that you don't know on a TV, so you don't even know who they are, and you're trusting them to tell you to go and put this stuff in you. Then you go and get this stuff that you don't even know what it is, who is actually administering it, you don't know any of it, and you're just marching to these places now without even thinking about it, looking at it or researching it. It's just, I'm absolutely gobsmacked at how people are just so trusting.
Someone posted,
and it saddens me because I know through the research what I've done what's going to come in 6 months to a year.
Yeah, someone posted a meme and said it's really interesting that a chef has to understand and know all the ingredients in his recipe in case so that someone doesn't get a nut allergy or reaction, but a doctor doesn't have to know what's in the vaccine.
Yeah.
Hello, children.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Seriously, it's a real problem. So don't know. It's gonna be sad. I've had a few clients come to me and they've had the vaccine, and this girl who came to a chest infection, she used to be a beauty therapist. She didn't want one. She was like, I'm not going to have it. But because she took a friend to hospital who was going to have it, when she got in there, the nurse or doctor said, oh, we've got one for you as well. And she went, no. She said, no, you might as well. And they almost coerced her into it. No, but and she just couldn't say no. Right. And I'm like, that's illegal. That's coercion.
I watched the video this morning that actually this guy is going to post a document from the people at the head of the NHS to say teaching doctors and nurses how to coerce them into doing it. He's going to post the thing. I'll send it to you. I watched the video this morning. Yeah. He's basically he's in up in arms about it because he's had a lot of people from the NHS reaching out to him, and they want him. He's managed to get a copy of this letter that's been sent to everybody on how to teach people to coerce them into it. But anyway, I don't want to go down that road. We don't really want to go down that road. Let's get back on topic.
So what are we going to talk about?
So so it's actually we want to get on topic, and then we'll go to what's happened on this day after. But so it's basically helping people, or not helping people.
Helping people.
I'm not.
We do help. I believe we help people.
I need to help myself tonight.
I think you do.
I'm struggling to communicate. Communication problems.
Idea. That's what we're doing next time. Is it communication? You're struggling to communicate. We are helping people. We've been told we help people. We've mentioned it quite a bit. We are helping people. In fact, I believe that's why we started the podcast in the first place.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Are you forgetting why we've started this?
I don't know what's Right, so the podcast.
The vodcast. Seriously, you're not good. I'll take over.
It's about feeling lost.
It is about feeling lost, and you're feeling quite lost right now, aren't you? So why might I give Steve some advice on what to do if you feel lost?
Yeah, I know.
If you word your models.
I feel lost, and I need to go and search and find myself somewhere.
Yes, you do.
I need to find myself.
Yes.
But that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So my girlfriend made what she thought was a very funny joke. She thought the best way to find yourself was put your hand down your trousers. Yeah. And that's how to find yourself. I'm not sure it's that funny, but she thought it was hysterical.
I found myself 16 times today, then. Blimey.
But no wonder
I'm struggling.
I was going to say, no wonder you can't get your words right. Blimey, you must be shattered. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. No, so if you're feeling, a lot of people, for me, past couple of weeks have been feeling lost.
Yeah. I think I've had it myself.
Yeah, and everyone is, because of the current situation. I mean, there's a lot of people lost before that, but the current situation has really given a different dynamic to the feeling lost. What's happened is you've had some people who have realised what life is all about. They've realised that, work's not as important, money's not as important. Actually, family is very important. Connection.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that actually the COVID's been good for. It's actually reconnected people, which is what the world needed.
Give everyone a wake-up call.
Yeah.
From this fake, superficial, materialistic, egotistical, projective, I've got this is more important.
That's right.
What I've got and what I've achieved is how I present myself in the world, which is all fake.
Yeah. So people have woken up from that, from that fake stuff, from that false image, and they've started realizing what's important. But in the process of that, they then don't know who they are anymore. They don't know what they want to do because they've realized they don't want to do their work.
Well, the whole model of reality is now
collapsed around them. It's shattered.
Yeah,
it's shattered.
Absolutely.
And so those people are lost from that point of view, but they're in a healthier place because they know that they don't want the past, but they're not sure what to do now. And then you've got the other fraction of people where they've lost things. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their partner. They've lost their kid. They've lost their livelihood. They've lost money, and they are completely lost because they have no direction to turn.
And they've also probably lost family members.
They've lost family members
for whatever reason as well. And also they probably lost family members because of the divide between what's going on.
Yeah, and also because what's happening is you've got people now who are waking up to the truth about lots of things, and that's creating a family divide with family members and friends. So we're losing friends. I mean, I've lost friends and made new ones, which is great.
Well, same as me, actually.
And we're sort of moving on in our lives.
People that I never thought that I would align with.
Yeah, why are you pointing at me when you say that? What's going on? Why are you aiming that at me?
Yeah, I was aiming at you.
I
wouldn't have chosen you.
You would have chosen me.
No, but people that I have in my life now, ordinarily I wouldn't have aligned to them.
No,
I would have had nothing in common with them. I'd have not. And the people I now have, as well as them finding out actually by just taking time to talk to them and having a genuine connection with people now, and not just being all fake. I've actually come to find out some amazing people, and I've got in my life now that I'd never have ever believed that I would have even associated with or in the past. And they're really amazing people, and I'm proud to have them in my life. So
you mean you have other amazing people?
I have other amazing.
Me?
Yes.
I thought I was the only one. You told me I was the only one while you were gently stroking and playing my hair the other night. No, you're right. We've made connections with other people that you would have. Yeah, well, that was nice too. But I liked it when you just played my curls. So we have made connections with other people, and we've made friends with new people and people like you wouldn't.
Yeah,
think.
I just would never.
But there is a sense of loss there. Sometimes you've lost the old life and the friends and left that behind. And there's also a group of people who are feeling lost because they're learning that what they thought was real is not real. And as you wake up to that, as you come out of that, and you wake up to this new concept, and you realize that what you've been taught is a lie, as I did last year. Well, I knew some of it anyway, but I didn't know all of it.
And then I come along.
And then you came along and introduced me to the rest of it. Yeah. And now I can't have Coke or alcohol or anything. So
that's the beauty of not watching the TV and spending your life actually looking and finding out.
Well, I never actually watched TV. I only watched movies and TV shows. I never watched game shows or talk shows. I never watched the news. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I knew that from years back. Yeah. So, but no, so there's people who are feeling lost in multiple ways. But the problem is that when they want to find themselves, they do the wrong things.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to talk about, because so many people are searching for themselves for whatever reason it is, out of the ones we discussed, or something else, whatever you're feeling lost with. But it's what do you do when you feel lost? What do you need to do to find yourself? And that's what we want to talk about, how to do that, because we're seeing a lot of people looking for themselves in the wrong places.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from your point of view, what would you say about that?
What? Say about what?
Well, I just said. Were you not listening? Can you pay attention?
No, I don't listen to it.
You can't afford to pay attention, can you?
I can't. So the problem is that what we actually do is go and look for something outside. Yes. So we're trying to. What we do is we have this void, and we'd say this is about everything, but we're going trying to find the thing outside. Like I need to go traveling to go and find myself. Or I need to find a new hobby, or I need to take something up, or blah blah blah. And that's really not really what's going on, because actually the real you exists inside of you. And the problem is the more that we learn, the more that we cover up the real us.
Yes.
And the problem is that if you're where you are now and you're feeling lost and you go and try and find yourself, I would guarantee yourself you're going to get more lost. Yeah. Because you're going to try and find more stuff outside you that doesn't work. Yeah. What you want to do is unlearn what you've learned to get back in touch with the real you.
Yeah. And the big problem is for people to find themselves, they go and learn more information.
Yeah.
They go and study about human nature and human behavior,
or psychology,
and that's just then they try and understand how that applies to them, and that just sends you around in circles. You're now going around in circles. You learn more information. You're even more fucked than you were, and even more lost than you was before. When really all you want to do is clear your shit. Just get rid of it. Switch it off. Don't analyze it. Don't try and understand why it's there. Switch it off.
The problem is that when people are in that mindset of feeling like they're lost and they've got to go and find themselves, what generally happens is because it's a lost conflict, they'll start suffering depression, they'll start having motivation problems, and then their whole decision making process starts getting tainted because they don't know who they are or what to do. Then they can't make any decisions. No. And then what they'll do is they go, I could do that, but then they'll come up with an excuse. I could do that, and what ends up happening is they start becoming stuck because they don't know who they are. Even though they want to go searching for themselves, they don't know where to go to search because they don't know who they are or what's in alignment with them. So what's happening now is you can be really, really stuck, as well as not having the motivation or the inspiration to do anything because you're now in depression, or you're running because of the loss of something, the loss of who you are. And then you go, I need to find my purpose. The problem with that is you're going to start going on YouTube and listening to all the people that don't know what they're talking about, all this spiritual stuff, all these, these gurus out there that are trying to tell you what you need to do in order to go and find yourself and how to reconnect with yourself, and you need to do this, that, and the other. The problem is that's learning more information, and it's still adding to your problem. It's not going to help you find out who you are and actually find out what your purpose is, because your purpose is actually deep inside of you. The problem is the education system and all this stuff that we go and learn, and this paradigm of the only thing that's important is me to acquire material things and to have this and have that and have the money. And then for many people, they get to 40, 45 and go, hang on a minute, this is just completely leaving me unhappy. And that's when people start really, women, I have so many women at the age of 38 come to me. I don't know what the magic age is, 38. And maybe that's the point in life where they start realizing themselves that what they've done has reached a point where it doesn't work for them, and then they have their crash and they go, well, what am I here for? Everything that I've done has left me unfulfilled, unhappy. I'm not happy. I don't know who I am anymore. And the problem is now is that when you start doing that, you're going to start asking the wrong questions.
Yes. And that's what people do. They ask the wrong questions all the time because we're not taught the right questions to ask. And we make understanding ourselves really complicated. And actually understanding ourselves is not complicated. But the more questions you learn to ask yourself, the more information you learn, the more screwed up you're going to be.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And you got to understand less and just switch things up. Learn how to find what to switch off, but stop trying to analyze why you have the problem.
Yeah.
I'll use a quick example. When you first came to me, you were just lost. I mean, stuck and lost.
Sorry?
You didn't know what you were going to do.
I didn't know anything.
You was in your house.
I was broken.
You was broken. You broken, damaged.
I was broken. I didn't actually think. I mean, like I say to people, I hit rock bottom and went through.
Yeah, exactly.
And people say, well, you can't. No, trust me, that's where I was. Yeah. I hit rock bottom, but that weren't enough. I ended up started going further down.
But if I'd have said to you at the time, in a year's time, you'll be doing this, what you'd have said.
I would have told you where to go in, like, the most politest way possible.
Yeah. So I didn't say, you'd be really good at this. We just cleared stuff out.
Yeah.
And then one day you went, can I do this on myself? I was like, yes, you do it yourself. And then you went, can I do this on some other people? I went, yeah. And you just naturally...
I just fell into it.
And that's what happens. When you clear yourself, when you clear stuff out, switch it off, you naturally fall into things and you naturally get guided or you gravitate towards what is right.
You instinctively or intuitively know what's right for you.
Your intuition kicks in, doesn't it?
Yeah, intuition kicks in, because now all of a sudden, all the overthinking, the logical part. See, the logical brain is the problem. And most people live in the logical brain. They live in this conscious logical brain where actually you don't make any decisions and all your behaviors are from your subconscious. So if you're not going into your subconscious and you're logically trying to find your purpose and who you are and what you need to do, you're never going to find it because it's not in there. It's actually in your subconscious. And there was something I was going to say as well. Yeah, and you take Rhea. Okay, so if you go and watch the video, Rhea was broken, didn't know what she was doing, single mum. As soon as I started getting rid of all of her stuff, which didn't take long, just switching off all of her stuff and started bringing her back to who she really was, all of a sudden she was like, oh, I'm going to start baking. Yeah. And then the next minute she starts baking, she's doing stuff for the family. The next minute the whole thing's exploded. Now she's got this massive business. Yeah. In just a very short period of time. Yeah. She didn't go out looking for information. She didn't go trying to find herself. She didn't try to find this thing out there that was the magic key to her happiness and her joy, because actually the happiness and the joy is inside. Yes. And all I've done is removed all that stuff. She connected to it. She goes, that's what I want to do. And magically started doing it. And now all I've had to do is remove all the blocks of her becoming successful. That's right. And all I've done now is, as I've removed them away, she's just getting closer and closer and closer to it. Yeah. She didn't have to go and find it. No, she just all of a sudden just, the same with me with doing this. Yeah. All of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I can do this standing on my head. Yeah. And I just haven't looked back. And the weird thing about it is like, whether you think, I don't want to say this is a bit woo, if that's the right word. What I have seen with the hundreds of people that I've worked with, as soon as I start working out, not even working out. So as I start removing and deleting all their stuff in their life, and I see it over and over and over and over again without fail, what happens is that person falls into it because they start to become more and more themselves. They gravitate to the thing that they like to do. They start doing the thing that's what like their purpose is, or close to it. And what happens is, just like magic, the universe just goes poof. This place all of a sudden just provides it for you.
What law of attraction kicks in?
Law of attraction. So with Rhea, she just started baking cakes. And what happened was, as soon as she started deleting all of her guilt and her shames and all of her beliefs and all of her nonsense that she's made up and been told and made up the shit and believe the shit that she's made up, as soon as I got rid of all of that, again, the intuition come in and she started doing the cakes. But all of a sudden, all this business just turned up in her lap. She wasn't marketing. She hasn't done anything. It just came to her. Yes. Now, I would also say the same thing happened to me, because when I decided that I was going to do this, all of a sudden I had my business cards designed for me and made for me. I didn't even have to pay for them. Then my leaflets got designed and made for me and paid for, which I didn't have to pay for them. And then you just turned up one day and said, I've got a website for you. And I didn't even ask for that. No. It just got given to me. And then all of a sudden the clients started coming to me and I've not even advertised for them. And it's just grown and grown and grown from there. So the point I'm making is that when you actually start getting in touch with who you really are and deleting all your stuff, you do know what your purpose is, and you just naturally fall into it without even having to look for it. You don't have to try. And I see it over and over and over and over again.
And I want to clarify something, because there's some people out there say, oh, does that mean you've got to sit there and do nothing? That's not what we're saying. No, because there's two factions. There's the one person who thinks when you talk about law of attraction, you just sit there and do nothing. Yeah. And there's the other person who keeps trying and getting nowhere. What we're talking about is removing your fight and flight states, removing trauma, removing
your
things,
limiting beliefs more than anything else. The limiting beliefs. Oh, sorry, John. But Rhea said I had loads of them. I can't. Well, there's no such word as can't.
No.
Go on, carry on.
No, you're right. So once you remove limiting beliefs, the traumas, the fight and flight state, then your intuition kicks in, and then you take action. You don't just sit there and do nothing. You take inspired action. And once you do that and you just follow your intuition, you are doing things. But what you're doing is you're following the 80-20 rule. You're putting 20% effort in and getting massive results, rather than what most people do. They put 80% effort in and get hardly any results. For that. And that's what happens. You want your whatever you do must be at focus 20%. And by clearing stuff out, that's what you end up focusing on. That's what brings in brings the right energy to you and all the right information, all the right people.
And the thing is as well, so somehow the right people turn up at the right times. You get the right advice at the right times. You have to take action on that, otherwise you'll stay stuck.
Yes.
And the other thing as well is that what I've learned with this whole law of attraction thing, and all I've done is just trust it. So I don't think about, what do I need to do? I need to do this and I need to do that. And if I don't do this, then this isn't going to happen. I just basically get up now and I'm just like this. And all of a sudden, phone calls will come in, people will turn up, I'll go to somewhere, I'll have a conversation. I'm just literally completely relaxed about it. And I just go with the flow now. Where when I first started out, I was desperate to try and get clients. Now I don't, they just come to me. But what I tend to find is that even though the law of attraction kicks in. It isn't all just roses, and it will come and say, okay, here's one for you, and it's a real tricky thing that you need to now overcome.
Yes,
it won't just make everything all rosy. It will give you lessons that you need to learn and overcome as you do that. So when I first started out, all of a sudden it said, all right, you're ready now to move on to the next level, and it would chuck me a really tricky customer that I'd never dealt with before. I'm like, and then I'd have to learn that. And then what would happen is it would instantly give me 3 of the same customers, one after the other, that I'd never done before. And then so it's just sort of magical in a way how it happens. But you have to take the action to learn and keep moving forward and keep moving forward and keep moving forward with it. I mean, yes, it is law of attraction, but it isn't just everything that you want on your terms. It will chuck in a swerve ball just to check.
Well, it does.
And it has me.
It's the only way to grow and move forwards. And the thing is that if you haven't got a tool to, when you hit those curveballs or those stumbling blocks,
that's where you can get stuck.
If you haven't got a tool to release the energy or the blocks around it so you can move through it easily, you then get stuck and you don't move forwards. But when you've been to those times, either you clear it or I've helped you clear it, and you move through it and it goes. Yes, you need the information, but you can also get stuck with belief systems. And if they
the information's the problem, because all of a sudden the information is actually just information. It's not doing. It's not being.
No, exactly.
The problem is people get stuck. Is the more information I have, they think that they've got it, and then when it actually comes to doing it or practicing it or actually doing what they need to do, then they fall over and they go, "Oh, I can't do it. I need some more information." I'll just keep looking for more information and not doing.
That's all people do. They're always constantly looking to try and understand why they feel the way they do, why they're thinking the way they do, and stop it. Stop trying to understand it. It won't work in a million years. It will never give you the answers. If you're feeling lost, all you've got to do is clear and switch off all the shit that's inside of you. Don't try and analyze what's inside of you,
or work it out.
You're
just going to make up shit.
You'll just go
and believe the shit you make up.
And
I say,
just switch it off.
I say it all the time. Feeling's going to come up, or an issue's going to come up. We're going to, what's that feeling? And then you go, oh, I know what that is. It's because I'm not doing enough exercise. Well, that's straight away. That's something you've made up. So tomorrow you're going down the gym to sign up to the gym. Can I do some exercise? I need to sign up to the gym. Now you've created an imaginary solution to an imaginary problem. It's not even real. And then you're just, your whole life, just a whole imaginary bunch of illusions, because you just made up stuff, believed it, and then thought, right, that's what I need to solve. And he's just don't do all this stuff. Right, no, I need to eat. I need to detox. I need to drink more water. I need to sleep. You know what I mean? And none of that even going to help.
None of that is going to help you find yourself. So if you are lost, whatever the reason is, if you're lost, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling overwhelmed, stop doing the external things. Stop trying to understand yourself and do counselling. So many people take up counselling courses because they feel lost. They want to find themselves. It's like, seriously, it's not going to help you find yourself. That people go on spiritual journeys or religious to try and find themselves. It's not going to help you find yourself.
It's just another distraction. It's a move away from.
It's a move away. It's a very slow way. Some people might spend 10 years doing it and get to the end of 10 years and go, well, I still don't know who I am. Because they've gone off and learnt something new, which is, unfortunately, we've been taught that learning is good. We've been taught the more we learn, the clever we are, the smarter we are, and the better we are. Bollocks. That's not
so they can
true.
Sell you educational courses and subscriptions on YouTube with the guru who's going to tell you how to write a book, and you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this.
You don't need that. All you need to do is switch off whatever limiting beliefs, blocks, as we've said before, you have, and then you will naturally know how to run your life, how to be you, where you are, what you want to do, how to make yourself happy, how to make money, and how to live your life. Everybody has the answer inside of them. You just need to remove what's stopping it from coming out.
Absolutely,
and that is basically what I'm telling people all the time. In fact, we had this conversation with a friend of ours last night.
Yeah, we did.
Someone that you're helping, and we've both helped actually in the past.
Yeah.
And
if she's watching, hello, beautiful.
Yeah, hiya, darling. So it's a very common theme at the moment, but we just want you to understand that whatever you're trying externally to find yourself, it ain't going to work. Not in a million years. So you just need to switch off whatever inside of you. And to put it really simply, as I'm telling all my clients now, if you want to understand how you are or why you are the way you are, all you need to recognize is you're in fight and flight. That's it. So if you've got a problem with your partner and your partner makes you angry, you're in fight and flight. You're in the fight state.
Yeah.
If you've got a problem with your boss at work, and whenever your boss tells you off, you just want to burst into tears, you are in a freeze or a runaway state. If you have a problem with your kids, and your kids are triggering you, making you feel guilty, and you just want to curl into a ball, you are in a freeze or runaway state.
What about your business partner?
When your business partner sits there and criticises you for wearing a Captain America shirt.
Yep. What's that response? Is that a...
That puts me into a freeze response and also a fight and makes me want to punch him. Which I will do later. Off camera.
Normally you run away.
No, do I run away?
Run away. Yeah, you don't have a runaway response.
No, I'm going to
leave me alone.
I'm just going to rip the shield out and throw it at you, to be honest. So whatever, it's really simple to understand.
It is. It's
really simple. You're just in fight and flight. So from now on, whenever you have a trigger, whenever you get triggered, you're feeling a response, just ask yourself, is that a runaway, a fight, or a freeze response? Yeah. And that's all you need to know. Just
connect to the energy of the feeling inside and it'll tell you.
And it'll tell you which one it is. And then all you need is a way to switch that off, and that's what DCO does great.
Yeah.
But that's all you need to recognize. That's it. All of the problems in the world today are literally caused by fight and flight states. So you've got people who are frightened of the virus.
Yeah.
They are frightened of the virus. They're frightened of people not wearing masks and not having vaccines. They are in a fear state, which is fight and flight. You've got people who don't want to wear masks and they're frightened that they're like us and the vaccines. They're frightened that we're going to have our territory taken away, our rights taken away, which is happening. And so those people are going into fear as well. They're going to fight and flight states. And it's dividing the country. It's dividing the world, in fact.
But both sides are in fight and flight.
Both sides are in fight and flight, yes. Yeah. And you have to remove yourself from the fight and flight. If both sides could remove the fight and flight state, we'd actually just come back together again. We'd just be us. Yeah. And we wouldn't listen to people who tell us bollocks.
Yeah. Oh, no, but it's the TV, mate. I mean, it's the TV, though.
You just wouldn't listen. You'd actually be in your right mind. So for everyone listening who is frightened of the virus or not wearing a mask, if you just take the fear out, because you don't need to be frightened of something to know it's bad, if you take the fear out or the fight and flight state out, you will actually come back to being you, and you will instinctively know whether what's going on is true or not. And I can almost guarantee you will look at it and go, this is bollocks.
Yeah.
Because it is.
It's only the fight and flight response that makes you think and feel the way that you're feeling. Anyway.
That
drives the beliefs, it drives the energy, and drives
it's causing everyone to separate and divide and be apart and fight each other. And we don't need to do this. You know, we're talking about the police force. The police force are in fight and flight over their jobs.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing what they're doing. The nurse and doctors, they're in fight and flight over their jobs. Rather than us all standing up and saying, we don't want this anymore, telling the government to fuck off, and arresting the government. I mean, I don't understand why the police just don't go and arrest them for the crimes they've committed. They are coppers, after all.
Yeah.
But that's all that's happening. We're all going to fight and flight, and we've been going to fight and flight for years. You know, you'll take nutrition, for instance. You'll get someone out there tell you that vegetables and things are great, and they're instilling fear about having the other food. And then you get other ones saying, no, this is great, and you need to do this, and they instill fear. You're still putting people in fight and flight over everything. Stop going into fight and flight. Some people say, oh, you must do this exercise or that exercise. And if people go into fight and flight, what exercise to do? Stop it. You need to take the fight and flight state out, remove it, get rid of it, switch it off, and then you will know the right thing to do. The right thing for you will just come racing to the surface. And then once you know the right thing to do, you no longer seek advice from your friends. You no longer need a mentor, or you no longer need a life coach.
Off you go then.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Nice knowing you.
I'm done
nice
now.
and calm now.
You might need a mentor to guide you with actual advice on technical things. If you actually have to learn, you know, how to do social media from a technical point of view, or how to market, but you don't need advice on moving forwards within you. You don't need advice on what to do next or how to do it. You just need expert advice on
whatever the issue,
technical stuff. But you don't need advice on your emotions and how to feel. You just need to switch it off. So the problem is that in the world today, we're all going to fight and flight over nothing. Literally, because there is no point going to fight and flight, as I've said before.
No, but what you've got to realise is the information that you're giving, that you're taking in, puts you into fight and flight.
Oh, it's designed
so if you're sitting watching the bloody news, the first thing you're going to do is they're going to go dum dum. Even the music's going to put you into like a fear state, and then the first thing they're going to do is give you a little headline that's going to scare you.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're very good at that.
Brilliant. And now, all of a sudden, you've had that response. The emotional response now gets you engaged, and you are hypnotized. And they will tell you whatever they like, and it will go in, and you'll believe it without even questioning it.
Yeah,
even questioning it. And you're now in fight and flight, because the only reason everybody is where they are now is because they've watched the news and been told it, and they believe it. They're all in fight and flight.
Yeah, and
that's how they've done it.
Yeah, and they're very clever. And the other thing that puts in fight and flight is we all have our own opinions and ideas on what we think is correct. So, if you take the whole vaccine debate, you've got people who love vaccines and think it's the right thing to do, and you've got people who have researched and gone, no, it's not the right thing to do. If we all just left each other alone and just let each other get on with what we want to do and make our own decisions, everyone will be fine. But you've got the two factions, and you've now got this faction that are coming out saying, oh, people who haven't been vaccinated have got to stay away from the vaccinated because they could pass it. That's bollocks.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that. That's fucking nonsense. You cannot pass a vaccine. It's fucking idiots who came up with this nonsense.
So these people believe you can spread cold flu viruses.
I know, they're still
catch everything.
Yeah, that's because they believe you'd catch it. You cannot. You're not going to transfer that. Because the new vaccines are technology. You can't transfer robot to robot. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So what I'm saying is those two factions, they're now making everyone scared of everybody. It's fucking ridiculous. I actually had a conversation with a woman. I was stopped in the mall in Chelmsford. My mum was getting her eyelashes threaded, and this woman came and stood next to me, and she looked at me because I wasn't wearing a mask, and she stepped away. And I looked and I said, I think it's a real shame that people are frightened of each other. And we got into a conversation. I didn't get angry or anything, and she went, "Oh, you're right," and stuff. And she started agreeing with me. Yeah. And I was genuine. I really do think that's the biggest shame that everyone is now frightened of each other, and we shouldn't be. If we all come out of fight and flight, stop being scared. And the reason it's not good is I have this conversation with loads of people. When a person goes into war, when an army person or someone goes into battle,
is that a soldier?
A soldier, that's the one. There you go. I couldn't think of the name.
I just thought, are you an army person?
Out of all the things you've had problems with tonight, you pulled me up on the one thing I couldn't speak. Everything else that you said, you
when it comes to
fluffed it. So when soldiers go into battle, they are trained to not go into fight and flight. Yeah. Because you can't go into a war zone or a fight, even boxers, whatever it is, in a fight and flight state. Yeah. Even if they're going to fight, they mustn't be in a fight state. They must be cool and calm. Yeah. So and they're going into the most dangerous situation possible. So if they don't go into a situation in fight and flight, there is no need for us to.
Exactly. And then you've got old Hilda from up the road who's going into town, crapping herself with a plastic visor or a mask, jumping away from everybody, attacking everyone because you're not doing what she's doing.
Yeah. And I can guarantee 100% that someone with a gun coming at you in a war zone is much more dangerous than a virus you can't catch.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that really sums it up, to be honest. And so if a soldier doesn't go in fight and flight, we should be in fight and flight, and it's just dividing people. Yeah, so I just want people to know it's sad. Yeah. I want everyone to know, no matter which side you're on, we just want you to come out of fight and flight, please. Yeah. Just let go of fight and flight, switch it off, learn DTO, do something to bring yourself out of it, because it's not helping you, and it's certainly not helping humanity.
Yeah, and it's also going to make you sick. Long periods of fight and flight will make your certain organs deteriorate and get sick, and then you will be ill.
Yeah,
you won't be running away from being fight and flight because of something that isn't going to make you sick. The fight and flight response will make you sick.
Yeah,
and that's what's happened. I think a lot of people last year when it first came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, these people are getting sick." Yeah, you went out to fight and flight, and the cortisol took you over the edge, I'm afraid.
It did, yeah. A lot of the symptoms.
But that was COVID. Then.
Because a respiratory symptom is a fear response. It's fear that creates respiratory symptoms. Yeah. That's why people because the news media became on pandemic, and everyone went, "Oh my God, it's about fear," and then that created the symptoms of the respiratory problem.
Absolutely, yeah. But so the problem is, like I said earlier on, they play on people's ignorance and naivety of how health and sickness works. Did you see the meme that I sent you about spamdemic?
I did.
100% bullshit, 0% back, mate.
Yeah, exactly. It's very good. It was excellent. It's very, very good. Yeah, right. There's a lot of great memes going on.
I found it highly amusing. Right. Okay. Cool. So I think we probably covered all the areas really about that, and I hope you got some insight into that. And so we're going to move on now.
Are we? Do you want me to leave? What's happening?
Yeah. You can leave now. We're going to move on.
Have we had some comments? What have we had? I can't see about my glasses.
You look really. You need to turn. Was it? You look really shit in that top.
Is I know.
Absolutely, yeah.
You shouldn't say that, Steve, because he spent a lot of money on the waistcoat, and he had to change it twice to get the right one.
It doesn't say that.
No, does it not? What does it actually say? Do you really think I believed you? What does it actually say?
Well, you're not going to believe me because you know me and you wouldn't trust me. You only trust somebody you don't know on a TV.
No, exactly, yeah.
So it says, good evening to you both.
Oh, good evening.
That was one of them.
Who's that from?
From Jane.
Oh, hi, Jane.
From Libby. Wow, not heard of CRPS for a long time.
CRPS, chronic regional pain syndrome. Yes.
Yeah. Well, she hasn't heard of it for a long time.
You haven't heard of it for a long time. No, well, I mean, it's a rare condition, CRPS. So.
And Jane said it really has helped. So that's obviously from the audio.
From your audio really helped.
Yeah, great.
He'll be pleased to know that he'll be smirking later on.
I'm always
looking very smug.
Glum and smug.
Glum and smug. He'll be very annoying after we finish when we're having dinner. He'll be like, I know what I'm doing, son. I know what I'm doing, lad. I've been doing it all my life. I've got it. And
then you got Jane saying, Jonathan has taught me so much over the years. No idea where I'd be without him and the techniques he has designed. I didn't know he designed techniques.
I do, yeah. A bit of on
DJing.
Yeah, a bit of on the record player, just scratching it.
Have to jump on them and knock out a little album for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane. No, Jane's amazing friend and client. Well, we're friends now, but she was a client years ago.
She sent me a lovely message, and I'm really, it was really, it's when you're nice when you get messages like that from people you don't know. It's really great. Love the podcast and thank you for keeping me sane. Great. Yeah. So I'm glad we are keeping you sane.
I've actually had some nice people say nice things. One of my clients he came back to me. He actually thanked me for getting together with his girlfriend because he was struggling.
You got together with his girlfriend?
No. He was thanking me for getting him together with his girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Will you shut up for 5 minutes? Let me speak. So when he came to me, he had anxiety. And he was really in love with this girl that was not going anywhere. I've
done that a few times.
Exactly, yeah. She wasn't into him, but he loved this girl. And we cleared all that out and got rid of it. And as soon as we cleared that out, the girl that he's now with, he's been with 5 years, literally came straight into his life. And they've been together ever since. And they're now thinking about moving in together with each other. And he came back to me with a different problem, but he's just sat and said, I have to thank you because my girlfriend came into me at that point, and that was due to you. Well, it wasn't really due to me. It was due to clearing his energy out, so he could attract it.
Attraction comes straight in.
But it was such a nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
And that's why we do it, because we want people to have happy lives and
all the rest of it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else?
No, that's it.
No,
you carry on.
Comments.
Any comments on the phone?
Nothing on the phone.
Nothing on the phone.
Not
tonight. Go on in.
Okay, great. So we're going to go on to what happened on this day.
Go for it.
Right. So
I know what happened on this day. I did it. I did the laundry. I tied my office. I've done the podcast. We're going to have Chinese.
Dressed like a knob as well. That was good.
Dressed like a knob?
Yeah, just like a knob.
What sort of brass handle sort of knob?
Four candles.
Four candles. Yeah.
Handles for
forks. Yeah. Got any O's?
Got any O's?
Got any O's? No, what's your pose? O's. Got any P's?
Got any P's?
P's.
Great.
Got any plugs? Bar plugs? No, 13 amp. That's it. We're literally just doing the Ronnie sketch now. Well, I'm doing it all on my own, to be honest, because he's forgotten the sketch.
I was too busy actually going to do the thing that we had.
Yeah, all right, okay. I think the two Ronnie sketch is funnier.
It's funny when they do it.
It is funny.
Right, okay, cool.
It's good night from me, it's good night from him. Good night. Right.
Absolutely.
That's it. Carry on.
So what happened on this day? Let's get on.
I don't know what happened on this day.
So in 1792,
wow,
the guillotine was first used in France.
Really?
And he executed a highwayman called Nicolas Jacques Pelletier.
Wow.
Pretty cool bloke, obviously, because he was ahead of everyone else. When it comes to the guillotine, so he was first.
Very good, very good.
He was ahead of everyone else. But actually, so it says, as the spirit of liberty and equality and fraternity swelled through Paris in the early days of the French Revolution, Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotin rose before the National Assembly in 1789 to lobby for equality for the most unlikely area, which was capital punishment, because in Paris, the deputy and the deputy himself argued it was unfair for common criminals in France to be executed by torturous methods. Oh. And so, such as hanging, burning at the stake, breaking at the wheel. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No, don't get your COVID jab and then get like burnt at the stake or broken at the wheel.
Broken at the wheel, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
so the government might bring hanging back now for people who haven't got COVID vaccines. That's what they might start doing.
But the common people had that. By the aristocrats, this is no shit. The aristocratic felons had the privilege of quick decapitations, particularly if they tipped their executioners to ensure swift sword chops.
Oh.
So so anyway, so it's Joseph Ignace Guillotin who proposed the idea of the beheading machine, which came to known as the guillotine. So they obviously put a lot of thought into naming that. What should we
did.
call this? And so that's how the guillotine came in, and that
Oh,
was
that's
the first interest. Yeah, in 1792.
Oh, but that's actually interesting from being a magician, because obviously one of the most famous magic tricks is the guillotine trick, where the blade goes through the head and doesn't chop the head off.
Yeah.
So
well, I bet this glazer wished that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if this didn't work, heads would roll. Anyway, enough of that.
He's on form now. Whatever happened at the beginning, wherever he was, he's come out of his shell and he's really rocketing now. So yeah, yes, okay, good. Next,
great. No, you're telling the story about the magician.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right. So in
I was just fascinated from that point of view, being a magician, because that's actually one of the classics of magic.
Yeah.
And not that I've ever done it, because it's very hard to get hold of these days. It's an old trick. But it's a very clever trick, and it looks, you often do it in movies, and you sometimes see the head fall into the basket. There was a brilliant magician a few years ago, and he was a very dark magician, and he did this little sketch where he was a criminal, and the jailers brought him to the guillotine, and they put him on the guillotine. And normally with a trick, what happens is the blade just goes through the head, and that's it. But in this trick, it was side on, and as they chopped the head off, his head fell into the basket, and his body was still there. And that was an amazing leap forwards with that trick, because
so
that's
what
never
happens
been done
then
before.
when you chop somebody off? Their body disappears as well.
No, but it was a trick. It was an illusion. He didn't get his head chopped off. No.
Yeah.
So he then reappeared somewhere else. But usually with a guillotine trick, all that happens is the blade goes through and the head doesn't move.
Yeah.
But in this particular trick, they laid him down. You could see his body. His head went into the guillotine bit. Yeah. They clamped him in place. He was wriggling. Yeah. The blade come down. His head fell into the basket, and his body didn't go anywhere. And it really like his head had fallen up. It was an amazing illusion. It was very good.
Great. Sounds wicked.
It was a brilliant illusion. Can't remember his name now.
No, I'm not surprised. Right. So anyway, so it's quite funny, really, because we know we're talking about the Suez Canal, and the Suez Canal with the Evergreen ship that's like twisted out, and which is interesting because I found out quite a bit of good information about this whole climate change weapon that they found.
Oh, have you? Brilliant.
So it was actually on Turkish mainstream media that announced it, and so if you want to go and find out what was really on that ship, what was going on, go and check out Turkish mainstream media. It tells and spills the whole lot, because it's all been censored here, obviously, because we're only allowed to find out. We're only allowed to know what they want to tell us, like cases. Get your jab. Not what's really going on. But it's interesting about that. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get shut down on air, but go and find out. But there's a climate change weapon that they were going to use that's been developed over 30 years, and once this whole COVID thing disappeared, that was going to be the next thing that they were going to
push. That's what they want to push.
Lock us all down. They're going to lock us down with climate change. That's the next thing.
They want us to believe that the climate's a problem.
Yeah, the climate's a problem. That's what it is.
And again, completely made up nonsense. And you've got Bill Gates saying he wants to block out the sun. Fucking moron.
Yeah,
Bill, if you're watching, piss off.
Yeah, we're not. The problem is he's got lots of money, and because he's got lots of money, he's obviously knows everything, and everyone loves him.
Oh yeah. But people don't trust him.
No.
He's
got lots of money, and the whole idea of life is to get loads of money. That's what life's all about. But if he got lots of money, he must know everything. He must know what he's talking about because he's got lots of money.
But I actually saw a lawmaker in Italy in some kind of court.
That was last year, actually.
Was that last year?
Yeah, it was a lady that come down and asked for him to be arrested.
Yeah, for genocide.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was last year. That was in April last year. I saw that video.
So people do know that he's committed crimes. They are aware of this. He is committing crimes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so moving on. So in 1859, the ground was actually broken for the first time in the Suez Canal. So when they started building it, the ground actually broke. So it was at Port Said in Egypt, and it's an artificial waterway that stretches 101 miles, and it goes across the Isthmus of the Suez and connects the Mediterranean to the Red Sea.
Yeah,
and which is obviously a French diplomat basically organised this massive undertaking and did the first pickaxe blow to open it. But what was interesting is artificial canals have been built on the Suez region, which connects Asia and Africa since ancient times, as early as the 15th century.
Oh.
So as early as the 15th century, they had types of canals across there. But then the Europeans speculated about building a big canal across the Suez, which would allow their ships, their trading, to be able to cut through rather than having to go all the way down around the Cape Hope of South Africa, because it's a long old journey, and they could just cut through. So if you think if you're from Italy, you have to come out of the Mediterranean, down the African coast and back round to get to the Philippines, for example, where now you can just cut straight through. So that was the main reason behind it.
Okay.
And stopped them going around the Cape of Good Hope.
Oh.
So that happened in 1859.
Okay.
Which was interesting. So in 1901, on this day, New York becomes the first state that requires automobile license plates.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was there, and there was a $1 fee.
A $1 fee.
Yeah,
wow, that's amazing.
$1
$1 fee for a license ultimate plate.
Yeah, and it became the first state to have automobile license plates. Unlike today, where you've obviously got the all the big long, it's all done through the government.
Yeah.
It was actually the responsibility of the owner to supply the plates, and they could purchase a license plate kit.
Right, and you made it.
Yeah, and then you made it, and basically it was like a leather plate, which you bought, and then you had your initials of the name of you on the plate.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it first introduced. So, funny enough, the government input something in, which meant you had to go and buy something in order to have it. So,
gee, let me think. Where are they doing that now? Masks, sanitizer, plastic shields. Yeah, it's very similar.
It is very similar.
It's good to know they haven't changed their model.
No, exactly.
They're very consistent.
Well, funny enough, it's the same people running it.
Oh, okay,
You've got to think 1901.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Rockefellers and
exactly. Yeah,
but anyway. So another first as well, which I found quite interesting, and which I sort of know of, was New York was the first time a 3D film was played for a paying audience, and it was taking place it was in the Manhattan Astor Theatre.
What date was that?
June the 10th, 1915.
1915. 3D movies went all the way back to 1915. Really?
Yep.
I thought they only came out in the last 20 years or so.
No, that first presentation of 3D film came out on June the 10th in 1915. Wow. This is what does my head in about, all that stuff from the past is all they were stupid.
Yeah.
When you look at everything that we've got now, it's all basically designed and done by then. And if you're interested in that, go and look at the Tatarian Empire and what was going on there. That was all being hushed up, hidden from our history. It's amazing. All the free energy stuff. It's amazing stuff. Yeah, the Tatarian Empire. That'd be a really interesting topic to cover, actually, but nothing to do with health.
No, we can cover that one day. That'd be quite interesting. You can be the expert on that one.
Am I an expert? I don't know anything. It was also New York was the first state to have a brewery as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were the first state to have a brewery in America, and it was established by Peter Minuit in Lower Manhattan. So he was the first person to have a. And this one I found quite interesting. It's not a first, but did you know the world's smallest church is in New York?
The world's smallest church
is in New York, ladies and gentlemen, and it's 3.5 foot by 6 feet, and it's located in Oneida. If that's the right way to say it.
I don't know.
Oneida, 3.5 feet by 6 feet.
Wow. And it's still there?
It's still there, yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Smallest church in the world.
Okay, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. I love New York. I have to go and find out. I love it. When I go to New York next,
I'm not going all the way to New York to look for a church that's 3.5 foot by 6 feet.
No.
I think of other better things to do.
Well, no, you don't have to go there for that, but if you do go there, that would be something to look up.
Yeah, they've absolutely destroyed New York with all of this.
I know, it's ridiculous. The rules they're trying to put in place, it's not going to happen, but it's
well, Yeah. Anyway, so moving on, in 1945, clandestine radio 1212 was used to host Nazi Germany's final transmission.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they basically what did is they put loads of Nazi propaganda out.
Yeah,
and then
of course.
Basically, and they did it for months, right? Putting out this fake Nazi propaganda, and they were able to influence and trap 350 German army troops.
Oh my God!
Just by
really,
bit like what they're doing today.
I was going to say,
on a larger scale.
No different, really, is it?
So that happened.
Now they're just trying to trap ordinary, everyday people. They just want to get on with their lives and be happy and healthy.
Well, it's their fault, and they're choosing to believe the shit on the TV. That's their problem. In 1945 was also on this day. 1945 was the last Boeing B-17 attack on Nazi Germany, and also. At the same time on this day, it was the raising of the flag over Reichstag, where the Soviet Union had basically surrounded the whole of Berlin, which was the capital, and cut off all the access points and basically put the flag over. So all those three things happened at the end of the Second World War and that's one. Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? That's interesting.
That's interesting.
I find it really interesting. Look at that.
Yeah, I can see find it really
I find it very
fascinating.
interesting.
I'm sure the people watching find it fascinating
really
as well. I can feel the fascination.
I can feel it too.
From the people listening, coming through the screen and hitting us like a wave of interest.
Yeah. There's a lot of overacting going on there, mate. It's like fucking sitting next to a RADA student.
A RADA? Really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, I was going from all the School of Julienne or whatever it is.
Great. Okay, so in 1953, Francis Crick and James Watson they actually discovered the double helix. Well, they didn't discover it. They actually discovered it earlier, but the double helix of the DNA was actually first published to the public in 1953 in Nature magazine.
Right.
It was actually originally discovered on February the 28th in 1953 by Cambridge University scientists James Watson and Francis Crick. to announce that they determined the double helix of the DNA and the molecule containing human genes. Then the molecular biologists were also significantly by the work of another DNA researcher called Rosalind Franklin, although she wasn't included in the announcement and didn't share the subsequent Nobel Prize award for it. So she was a main person in it, and she was just like, pushed aside, and these two guys got it. And later, so they didn't look after her very nicely. Obviously, didn't include her, but also the two that were recognised for it later fell out.
Right.
And Watson wrote a book and basically said that Crick had misrepresented everything, and they had in their collaboration and had a big friendship betrayal, and they all fell out, and so they screwed each other over out of all of that. So, but though, do you know what DNA stands for?
No,
it's deoxyribonucleic acid. Yeah, which was
DNA.
Deoxyribonucleic acid. And
nucleic acid.
Do you know when it was discovered?
No.
1869.
Oh, okay.
It was discovered in 1869, but the double helix in that was actually discovered
in 1960. Okay.
Yeah, great. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Well, yeah, that's part of why I do the whole health of the body and the DNA.
I didn't realise it had been discovered in 1869.
That's a long way back. So it was
again, going back
19th century thing.
Exactly. Again, all the brains, all of the stuff. Just go to show how stupid we are as humans.
We are. No, you are. The information. Oh, yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah. No, it goes to show. I mean, this
we're dumbed down from the education system.
But this is the thing I had conversations about with my girlfriend in the night, because it's not so much stupidity, although I do think a lot of people are stupid. It's more about that we think we have a choice, but no one's actually given a genuine choice. It's like being a magician.
Yeah.
Magicians give you a Hobson's choice. You have no choice. When a magician tells you to choose a card,
you're presented with a choice, but actually those choices are both being presented to you that are being controlled.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're not being presented with a truth.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So when people come to make a decision, they're not making a decision based on truth.
I have free will. No, you have free will within a construct that you've actually been given.
You got more chance of having free willy. Yeah. You got no free, because that's the way they
like a bit of free willy, don't you?
On a Friday night, every now and again. So it's not true. It is. No, it's not really.
Make your mind up, you will.
Yeah, I know. So
you either like it or you don't.
No, well, depends what mood I'm in. Depends how many Malibu and Cokes I've had. So no, that's a joke, folks. I'm joking. So no, there's no free will, because you're given, like Hobson's choice, you're given two choices, and none of that is truth. So people aren't choosing what is truth. They're choosing what they believe, one or the other, and then people fight over those arguments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And none of them are truth.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like a magician getting someone to choose a card, and it's being forced on you.
You already know the outcome before the person's even taken the card, and that's exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're doing right now.
You think you've got free will.
So it's not that people are stupid, but the choices they're being given are limited.
But they're stupid for not knowing that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
surely you. Well, I don't know. Am I different?
They're naive.
Yeah, exactly.
They're naive for believing that the government want to help you, and the NHS want to help you, and the things you've been told.
And big pharmaceutical companies are there to help you. And everything they do is going to support you.
That's right. Yeah. And then they're naive for thinking that, even when the evidence is literally right in your face that doesn't support that at all. Right. I mean, literally, there is literally hardly any evidence that backs it up or supports it. In the years that have gone by, there is nothing to back that up.
But the thing is I think that people generally are lazy. They become lazy, and they want everything spoon-fed to them. So they don't have to go out and do any research. They don't have to look for anything. They don't have to find the truth. They're just going to make up shit, and then they just have to go to their one source of information. They sit in front of the hypnotized idiot shit box, where they'll just believe anything that's chucked out to them, because they don't even question anything, because the whole truth always comes out of the TV, because they've been conditioned from day one from that. And that's the problem.
Well, the thing is,
that's why you don't have free will, because your social structure and the way that you've been socially programmed all comes from the TV, from as little as being a child right the way up to now. That's why people don't question it.
No, but the thing is that because it's been there so long, they've been programmed, people believe, oh, that's just the way it is. It's never going to change. Yeah. And the problem with that is that believing it's never going to change would never have solved anything. You know, if you want something to change, you have to believe it's possible to change it before you can change it. Yeah. If you sit there and go, it's never going to change. I mean, I've had this conversation with people. I've told them that the government's going to come down. You know, we're not going to live in this world the way we are right now. It's going to change. It's going to heal. And people go, oh, no, never change. No, it actually will. It's going to change. Yeah. It's taken a while, but I really now see it.
When people realise that what's gone on
Yeah.
They're not going to want a government like this ever again.
No. As soon as all the truth comes out, that the governments are going to. I mean, the governments are collapsing around the world. We're just not seeing it here. They are collapsing day by day. Governments. I mean, banks are collapsing. So many things around the world are collapsing, and we're not hearing about
Canada
it.
Canada was 64% of their market value got wiped off in one day.
Yeah.
You've got countries all over the world, the whole of their government stepping down.
Yeah,
it's all happening, but again,
it's all happening. The Vatican has declared their bankruptcy
over here because our media is just completely, literally bullshit. I'm going to say that. So anyway, let's move on because on this day, 1954, Bell Labs announced the very first solar battery. So your very first solar battery was made from silicon on this day, and it had a 6% efficiency.
That's almost the same as the survival rate for COVID, isn't it? What's that about? And a 6% efficiency.
Yeah, 6% efficiency.
Who would release a product with just a 6% efficiency?
Quite a lot of companies.
Really?
Actually, yeah. AstraZeneca was one of them.
Yeah. So I think it's slightly less, isn't it?
It's probably slightly less, yeah. In 1954, the US performed an atmospheric nuclear test above Bikini Island. A little bit sexist, that. I would have been on there. Why do they call it
Bikini Island? Yeah, what is that about? I'm guessing it's just an island where you're only allowed to wear bikinis.
I think that once all this nonsense is over, I think I might have to go there.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
In fact, maybe we should go there now and just see if they're all wearing bikinis and masks.
Yeah.
And hand sanitizer everywhere. Got the bikinis on.
Yeah.
And they're sunbathing, but their masks. Yeah. They're all wrapped around them like that. Would be hysterical to watch. I bet I'd
like to rather see the bikini as a mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Bikini? I can't even say that.
Bikini as a mask.
Bikini as a mask.
No, don't do that. I tried wearing a pair of knickers.
I have actually seen some people looking like there's a pair of knickers around their faces. I'm just like, it looks like you've got a pair of knickers. There's a girl that works in my gym, which is good because obviously I'm back down the gym 4 times a week as well, which is great. But she goes, literally looks like she's got a pair of knickers around her face. Every time I see her, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would it even look like a pair of knickers?
Maybe she has. I mean, it's a better way to
I just don't know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get it anyway. But anyway, so 1960, the first submerged circumnavigation of Earth completed by a USS submarine Triton in 60 days and 21 hours.
Wow.
So there's the thing about me, circumnavigation. Did you know that not one person has ever circumnavigated north to south?
No.
They've all gone east to west. So billions of people have circumnavigated east to west, but not one person has ever been recognised to have circumnavigated over the North Pole and under it that way. It's never, ever happened.
So does that explain the Earth being flat?
No, I don't know if it's flat or not. I don't know. But anyway, here's the thing.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Here's the thing. I do know lots of stuff, but that's not for this podcast, right?
No.
But here's the thing, right? They did give a world record to a guy. I think there was a couple of guys. But anyway, they give the world record to a guy. And what he did is he went all the way down to Antarctica.
Yeah.
And then what he did is he then came back and went back up to Brazil and then went up to the North Pole. And they said, oh, well, you've gone circumnavigated. So he didn't go under the South Pole. He basically went down to the South Pole and then came back up the other side.
That's not circumnavigating.
No, it isn't. And his excuse was the weather was so bad that he had to turn around and come back.
That's just going up the top of the wall and coming back down the same side. But they
actually gave him the record for going over the top.
Seriously?
No one's ever done it, mate. No one's ever done it. No one's ever gone.
Wow, that's got to mean something.
Billions of people have gone east to west.
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Oh, I can see why that'd be the case.
Right?
Millions of people have gone east to west. You can do that, but you can't go around
over the top. And no one's ever done it.
No, I can see why.
And the guy that did get given it actually didn't go all the way under. He came round and said, oh, the weather's a bit bad, turned around and went back the way he came. And they said, oh, he circumnavigated north south.
Brilliant.
It's never happened.
No, I can
go look into that, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite an interesting thing.
The interesting is, why has that never happened? If you then go to
that's the question that people need to ask. If they actually really give a toss.
Yes, maybe that.
But I do give a toss about things like that because I know everything's a lie. They lie to us about everything. Yeah. And when you start learning that, you just start reading every single thing. It's like, oh my God. Right. Anyway, 1972. Hans Vergross.
Hans Vergross?
Yeah.
It's a very harsh name.
It is, really. He actually glides 907.7 miles.
Wow.
In an ASW12, which is like a single seat sailplane made of glass composite. But he actually glided 907 miles.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
That's very impressive. No engine.
No engine.
Wow, that's very impressive.
So it's bigger than the length. It's bigger than the length for the UK, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I would
imagine that the top to bottom I think it's about 860 miles. I think, but something like that. Can't be far off. But that would be the length. That would be the length. Yeah, that would be the length of the UK gliding without no engines. I think that's pretty damn impressive.
That is pretty impressive. Yes.
So last week I told you in 1974 there was a super tornado outbreak.
Yes.
And it killed most of the people 42 tornadoes in one day. Do you remember me telling you that? Because I actually started telling you about how I crashed my car.
That's right.
Chasing a storm.
Yes, you did. You did tell me that.
I did tell you that.
That's the bit I remember.
I told everybody that.
I remember that bit. That was funny.
Absolutely. Well, in 2011...
you did the same thing, chasing something else?
No, but there was at least 300 people died in the deadliest tornado outbreak in the southern United States since 1974.
Really?
Yeah, on this day, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Where was that tornado?
No, it weren't. It was an outbreak of tornadoes.
What's that? What's an outbreak of tornadoes?
Where lots of tornadoes happen.
Yeah, but did they happen in the same place or all over the world in different places?
No, but all over the southern United States.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Generally, Oklahoma is.
I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know they all did it.
Oklahoma's really the Oklahoma and Kansas are the real big places where you get like a lot of the big massive ones.
Right.
I could tell you actually how tornadoes are formed, but I won't. But generally, what happens is you've got the warm air coming up from Mexico that are going one way, and then you've got the cold air coming in from the north. What happens is they cross over, and then obviously because it's hot, really Arctic air, cold air, and warm air coming from the Gulf of Mexico. This air has to rise above the cold air, and as it rises up, it causes the air to spin, and then depending on how much heat comes in, depends on how big the tornado is. So there you go.
See, you're just a font of knowledge.
I know, but I learned it all.
He's so into. He does know a lot of things about a lot of things. I do believe, in fact, he did work for Reader's Digest.
I don't fucking Reader's Digest.
But he does know a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that you said, I could tell you about it, but I won't.
No, but there's a lot. No. I
just
give you the ninja bit.
Yeah, ninja bit.
Yeah,
no, that was good. It was interesting. No, I do like listening.
I'll tell you afterwards.
You tell me afterwards. No, I do like listening to things like that.
Okay, so just wrapping up now. 2019, Microsoft became the third US company to be listed with a market worth of £1 trillion.
Right. Okay.
Along with Apple and Amazon.
Right.
They're worth £1 trillion.
Wow.
So if you want to know how Bill Gates, if you want to know how Bill Gates has been able to pay off everybody,
so
get you all vaccinated and do this right now, you know why?
And paying to pharmaceutical companies, and give money to CDC,
paying
and all
off like your politicians, and all the people.
That's how he's done it.
He's paid everybody off basically, and all the media companies. Did you know that BBC got to millions of pounds of Bill Gates?
I didn't know
he's
that.
Paid loads of media. Bill Gates has funded loads of media companies.
Right.
He's funded all of the universities and all the people that are doing the tests. All come from him. All the money
kind of makes a lot of sense now. Starting to put a piece of the puzzle together.
Yeah, he even gives money to the people.
Starting to see the big picture.
Yes. But when you've got to go and do research, you'll find it all out. But they're not going to turn around and tell you that on the news because they don't need to know that.
No. You can see that 9 o'clock news. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we announced that Bill Gates gave us £2 million to lie to you.
Right, it's a bit like a burglar saying, "Oh no, is that Sheila? Yeah, just to let you know, love. 10 minutes, I'm gonna come in to burgle your house. All right, lovely. Yeah, cheers now.
Yeah.
No, I won't make a mess. Bye.
No.
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna. Are they not? No. Oh, damn it.
Anyway, so that's it. Really, that's how Microsoft become £1 trillion firm.
Wow.
And now you know where he got all his money.
Yeah.
I'd like to think what Jeff Bezos is doing with his money.
Well, he stepped down, didn't he?
I wonder why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why Jeff Bezos stepped down
Did you know his yacht appeared next to the Evergreen?
I heard that. I did hear that. But I didn't hear any more about that.
Yeah, the one in the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
Apparently his and Murdoch's as well.
Yeah. How is that? I mean, really, how did that happen?
And they're probably checking on that climate change thing that they're doing.
That's probably what it was. Yeah,
so there you go. So anyway, that's the fascinating facts of what happened on this day. And I thought some of those were quite interesting.
They were very interesting. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Good. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll do another on this day.
Excellent.
Great. So I hope you like all that. And what we're going to move on to now is I thought we'll do some famous birthdays because I thought today there's loads of real famous people who are born today. And so to start off with was Marconi's. So famous, if you're in Chelmsford, you'll know about Marconi's. He was actually born on this day, the inventor of radio.
Oh, okay.
He was born this day. I think I know someone that has worked at Marconi's. Everyone has had a member of family that works at Marconi's if you live in Chelmsford in Essex. So, in 1940, the famous actor Al Pacino was born.
Was he?
Yeah. So I make him, I will not make him today. 71.
1940. Yeah.
71? No, 81.
81.
Al Pacino's 81.
Oh, wow.
Watched a good TV series of him.
Yeah. He's a very good actor.
81. You wouldn't think that, would you? He's doing good for 81, is that well?
Yeah, is he still going?
Say hello to my little friend. Right, so in 1945, Bjorn Uv, I don't know how you'd say this, but it's Ulvaeus. He's do you know who Bjorn is?
No. I've heard the name Bjorn, but I just
where do you get Bjorn from?
I don't know.
He's the lead songwriter of ABBA.
That's it. There you go.
There you go. So he was born today.
Okay. Wow.
So he did that. Take the jab. Take the jab. Take the jab. If you've not seen that video,
yeah, no. You got to see that video. It's very funny.
I loved it. Also, in 1947, on this day, the amazing football player, Dutch soccer player Johan Cruyff was born on this day in 1947.
Okay.
In 1957, the old crafty Cockney was born.
The old crafty Cockney.
Yeah, Eric Bristow.
Eric Bristow. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that crafty Cockney.
That crafty Cockney.
Yeah. Is he still going?
Lovely, Joey. Yeah, no, I think he's still going. Yeah, I'm not sure. Don't really see or know too much about it.
Well, no,
don't watch telly anymore, so sort of restricted from that information.
Yeah.
And to finish off, in 1969, Renée Zellweger, the American actress, she was born today as well.
All right.
Quite a few famous people.
Yes, very few famous people born today. It's quite an A-list of celebrities.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. Happy birthday, all those people. And that's probably it for the stupid things for this week. What's happened on this day and our birthdays.
Brilliant. And the information that we talked about, which is the important part. Yes. All right. If anyone does have any stupid things they've heard this week and they want to comment on it later on, please do. I would love to hear the stupid things that you've heard this week.
I've had Tony Wood saying, you two are defo off your trolleys, but I still love you.
Off our trolleys? Well, we are off our trolleys. We're actually sitting on stools at the moment because our trolleys are in the repair shop having the wheel taken up.
Yeah.
So we've got stools this week. But usually we do sit on our trolleys. So thanks for that, for recognising that. And give me
Don't
that.
tell Tesco's, will you?
No.
We get a fine.
We would, yeah. We nicked them outside Tesco's, and we didn't do it with a mask on either, so we're in more trouble. And we didn't sanitize the trolleys or our hands before we nicked them. Now, obviously, for everyone watching this, you must keep this secret because we're actually really bothered by this and feel dreadfully guilty. And we'll be switching that off later tonight.
Yeah, we will be.
So we don't get ill.
That's the funniest thing you've ever done, I think.
Is that the funniest thing I've done? That's called sarcasm.
Yes. You want to try that a little bit more because it was
a little bit more sarcasm.
Very funny. It
flowed really, really well. Yeah. I do enjoy a bit of sarcasm. I do. My Canadian instructor taught me sarcasm. Yes.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that's fine me now. You were brilliant.
Thank you. I don't hear that often. No, you're brilliant.
I'm in shock.
Right at the end.
I'm in shock.
Everything we talked about, that was the brilliant thing. My sarcasm was brilliant. It was funny. Okay, it was funny.
I feel a bit shocked. I've never ever.
The last time you laughed like that was when I was in Tesco's and I was moaning around about that woman who was spurting off about nutrition.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to finish up now, isn't it? We've been doing an hour and 40. It's probably the longest podcast we've ever done.
Oh wow! I hope people are still listening. Probably switched off. Yeah. Thank you for listening, everyone. We really do appreciate that. We're having such lovely comments, and if anyone would like to send us a lovely comment about all the work we're doing, then that'd be brilliant. If you think we're shit, then just keep quiet. We don't want to hear from you.
Can you tell him he's shit? I want to see those messages. I want to be like, I love your podcast, but John, really, mate, you really are shit.
Yeah.
The only time you're funny is when you're being sarcastic about trolleys.
In which case, I'm going to talk more about trolleys next week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about when they were invented and on this day what happened to trolleys.
And maybe it might be the birthday of the guy.
It might be the birthday of invented trolleys and the stupid things I've heard about trolleys this week.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. I've not heard that before. That's funny. That tickled me.
Yeah, I tickled me. You're formed. Do you want to take over?
I know.
I might start watching you, mate.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week. So if anyone would like to join us for a trolley dash in the week, we'll be doing that.
Supermarket week.
Yes, we'll be doing that in supermarkets around the world with Sooty and Sue. We don't leave those two out. And we'll be doing an outmask.
We'll have a friend can turn up. He could be Dale Winton, can't he?
We do have a Dale Winton.
Do we have a Dale
Winton? We do. Yeah.
It's great if you're watching.
Yeah, you can join us and give us the Dale Winton experience. Yes. Well, not the experience, obviously. Just pretend to be.
Right.
So yes.
Okay. Cool. So I think we're gonna have enough Chinese. We always say that we're having Chinese now. So other than that, again,
in our trolleys or.
Yeah, in our trolleys. Yeah. If you enjoyed this, again, please let us know. Like and share it. Get all that information out there. We really appreciate all your support.
Yes,
the kind messages. And like I said, I'm getting loads of people messaging me saying they love it. We love doing it. And we want to just help people and, to have a better life and to be healthier.
And if there's anything you want to know, if there's any information you want to know or you want to ask us advice, then please message us and we'll put that in a podcast. We'll do another one. Next time we're doing communication.
I think we're going to do communication because it's a really big thing. And I think our whole environment and everything is about communication.
Yeah, and you've had some really interesting realizations about that recently.
I have, yeah. I've really have actually.
Because that's not really something that I've actually thought too much about.
I've really I've done a bit of thinking. When I say thinking, it's just, again, it was an intuitive feeling that come up for me. I cleared some stuff and this thing just appeared. And I was like, oh my God. And I mean, it's not like I've had this epiphany about communication, but actually people don't realize the level and the importance of it. We just take it for granted because we have energetic communication, we have body language communication, we have language communication, we have communication that we take in, how we perceive it, internal communication, the language that you're talking, what you're saying to yourself,
and energetically how we live in the world. Yeah, that is putting out information all the time.
And then when you actually start looking at it, you think, and you realize the depth and how important communication is. We probably go into that and break it down in a little bit and get people to realize how important it is that your communication's right, and if it's not right, how we can change that maybe. Yeah, but we're going to do that next week. So
cool, excellent. We'll look forward to that. Okay, next week, 2 weeks time.
2 weeks time. Okay, great. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next podcast. So have you got anything else to say?
No, I'm done. I've got over my trolley fixation.
Good.
Brilliant. So I'm okay.
Yeah, James says thank you both.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane, for
appreciate
watching. That. Yes.
So if you want to get in contact with John or visit him or see him, I wouldn't recommend it. You can come to my website, which is healingthemind.co.uk. No, if you don't want to contact John, go to the dtosystem.com. Where you can find all John's information. If you want to work with me, like I said, it's healingthemind.co.uk. And you can find all of our past podcasts on YouTube and on our our relevant websites as well, I believe. InsideOutEffect.co.uk. Yes, they're on mine. So thank you again. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. And we look forward to seeing you where we'll be doing a podcast on communication. So other than that, got anything to say, John?
No, take care, everyone. Have a great couple of weeks.
Enjoy
the sunshine. Oh, I got a little bit to say. I like to finish on a good note. Enjoy the sunshine, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care.
See you in a couple of weeks now. All the best now, and take care now. Bye.